Good morning, boys and girls of the internet. How's everyone doing today? I don't know if you recognize this or not. This is a 2014 Chevrolet Cruze. Got the big 1.8 in it. We had this car on the channel about 2 months ago, I think it was. Did a bunch of small, stupid repairs to it. Power windows and locks, and did some gaskets and stuff on the top of the engine, water pump, that kind of thing. So anyway, it's a family friend, and they decided they were getting rid of it, and they asked if we were interested. And I particularly don't like Chevrolet Cruzes. I don't like this one. I don't like the turbo ones. The only ones that kind of interest me are the diesel ones, but those are few and far between. The perks of this car is it had 4 new tires on it. I knew that I had just put new window motors and things in it. New water pump, stuff like that. They've owned it for many years now, put most of the miles on it that are on the car. Downsides, well, it's a Chevy Cruze. She has kids. Kids make messes. All the seats have stains in them. The carpets have stains in them. The front seats have stains in them. It's dirty. It's got a $1.43 on it for miles. Check engine lights on for about 35 different things. I wish I could lie. It's a ton. Most of them stem around voltage codes. So I'm thinking we've lost the ground somewhere in the PC or somewhere on the front of the engine. So that's why it's in here now. And in case you're wondering, yes, we did buy it. I think Cody's going to drive this back and forth to work to save some gas. The Grand Cherokee is not very fuel efficient. This thing, I drove it to work today, and it was getting like 34 coming down the highway, so that's pretty good. And in case you're wondering, this car was $1,000. 2014 Chevrolet Cruze, $1,000. So I went ahead, we jumped on Amazon, and Cody just spam ordered some parts for it. It's a freaking Chevy Cruze. Everything's super cheap for these, so we're just going to throw the parts cannon at it, see what happens. So where I'm at, I know we did the water pump and stuff last time. It's also May 1st, and it was like 39 degrees this morning, so I'm in a jacket today. This is awful. I got my voltmeter out. We've been testing what the continuity or resistance is between some sensors here, and I got to my coolant temperature sensor, and I don't know if you can see that down in there. It's melted on that tab right there, and then in here, that harness or connector almost looks like it's singed a little bit. So I bet part of our short is somewhere on this coolant temperature circuit, and that would make sense because I have codes. Just go over there. Because a lot of my codes come back to thermostat related issues. Also, this top line is leaking. I hope I don't have to replace it. I hope it's just a bad fit on this housing and it's not going to leak on the new one. Yeah, so it's leaking from that side of that hose right there on the top, which I did replace. So if I have to replace it, they should warranty it. And you can see it puddling up underneath there. It's got Dex Kill in it. I'm probably going to switch to conventional green because I don't like Dex Kill. Can't see anything else. I do need to check this sensor right here. This guy back here for the same. Oh, wow. That whole thing is loose. Is it broke? Oh, well. That sensor might be broke. And you guys just went for a freaking hayride, didn't you? I don't know if you can see it, how that thing's wiggling around. They're not supposed to wiggle around like that. That one does not appear to be charred. Check inside this one. Yeah, that one looks okay. But as I mentioned, we jumped on the Amazon, spam ordered some parts. There's our free Toyota Camry Dad's about to do some work on. And here's what I've come up with. This is the plastic one, not the aluminum. You can interchange these. It's not a big deal. It's just how much money you want to spend. And, you know, if we decide to flip this car and not keep it, I don't want to have a bunch tied up in it. So Cody ordered this one. You can see the coolant temperature switch looks much better on this one. It's still an aluminum intake for the thermostat part, but the rest of the housing is probably some kind of ABS plastic. But let's swap this out first, and then we'll check on our 37 freaking check engine light codes and see if we can get some of those voltage codes out. Because if that coolant temperature sensor is shorted, which essentially that's all the sensor really does is it's a permanent short, you know, and it changes resistance according to temperature, and that changes a reading in the PCM. But, you know, if it's shorted too bad, the car's going to run like crap, which that's another thing. Occasionally, the car will start chugging, and then it'll want to stall. And if you shut the car off and start it right back up, it's fine. It'll keep on going. So that would be either ground, or that'd be hot leaving this sensor and then starting all over again when the key cycled back on. And I'm getting way too far into this. So first off, let's just throw the thermostat housing on it to fix this coolant leak, and then we'll deal with that. But once again, it did come with a new sensor, and that one being pretty melted up in there, maybe we'll fix the problem at the same time. All right, so thanks to the help of Dateline on TV, I got the old thermostat housing out. Yeah, it just goes in right here. Got 4 bolts. They're inverted Torx. And then you've got 2 heater hoses connect on the back, a sensor on the back, a sensor on the top. You got this coolant pipe that has that, ooh, don't lose the O-ring. It's got this O-ring, goes on the front, and it circles back underneath the exhaust manifold, and then of course your upper, or your, yeah, well, the radiator hose is technically the upper hose, but this thing goes like to the middle of the radiator for some reason. I've never understood how that works, but it works, I guess. So this one's an aluminum housing, but it shattered inside here right over the temp sensor, and the gasket's bowed in. And so we're going to take our new one, which is a plastic unit, but they are interchangeable. So we're going to put this one on here, and it comes with the new sensors already on it. It shows you flow direction. So let's get this one on. So Dateline is over with. We've moved on to Auction Kings. And here we are now, the Chevrolet Cruze. I have our new thermostat housing installed. I had to go to Chevrolet and buy this connector right here, the whole connector, because they couldn't get me just the O-ring. They don't sell it that way. I think I got the old one. I think I kept it. Cause I'm a hoarder and I can't get rid of shit. Now, if I could just keep my miscellaneous bins as organized as Musty does. Darren, come on. Okay, I know I kept it, but anyway, pretend you just saw it. It's the piece that goes right here, the plastic connector. Anyway, went to Chevrolet and bought a new one because they couldn't get me one at the parts store. They could like cross-reference an O-ring, but it was like from a universal pack. I've got universal packs of O-rings. They wouldn't fit, so just went to Chevrolet, bit the bullet, and bought this whole, that entire connector there. Took it off that hard plastic hose, slid the new one on, put it on, no more leaks. We filled it up with Dexkill, and you know, I just saved what I drained out, put it back in, screwed the drain plug on the radiator. So it seems to still be at an adequate level. I'm sure once I drive it a little bit, it'll settle some more. But for now, I just took a wire wheel and a voltmeter, and I had it over here on ohms, but I just checked the battery. We were checking resistance across all of our ground wires. You have 3 major ground wires here, including the one for the battery. It's behind this one. It's this big lead. Then you got the secondary one, and then these are all just electronic harness grounds. And all of these are driver's side, right behind the headlight in front of the battery. So battery, ground wire. So we cleaned the snot out of all those because they were kind of cruddy looking. Up here on the firewall, you have 2 more studs, but there's actually 3 wires. The bottom stud has 2 ground wires connected to it, and then the top one. So we cleaned all of those. You also have a ground wire right there. That guy right there. That's the inverted Torx. And you have another one right there below that injector. You can see it kind of, sort of. Right there, that guy right there. Cleaned all of those. I didn't see any more on this side. Okay, look, there's another set of grounds right there that I didn't see the first time. But I got the majority cleaned. So the ground for the harness that controls all this crap over here is gonna be partially one of these, and then this one on the side of the cylinder head. But anyway, now that we've got it cooling in it and it's not leaking, let's fire it up again. Well, that's a nice sign. Still runs. I had it running a minute ago though, so that's not fair. Check engine lights back on. Grab a scanner and see if we've taken care of anything. I bet I've got a loss of voltage reference, the 5-volt reference somewhere. So we've got all that finished, and I already talked about the grounds. I went through checking voltage on all the fuses, I wasn't really checking for blown ones, I was just checking for a voltage drop across a circuit somewhere. Didn't find anything. I did have a blown fuse 47, which is weird because that's a sensor data fuse. So I changed it. And we have temporarily lost our check engine light now. Interesting. I'm going to carry the scanner with us. I'm headed home for the day. So, actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Forgot how to put that back on first, but let's go grab us some fuses to take with us before we leave. So we know there's actually the blown one right there. So they're the micros, but they still have full legs. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, some new micros don't have legs. They're just a stubby little... Well, damn, I might have got lucky and got the last one I had. Well, there's a 15. Oh, there's another 10, and it's good. Is it 10, a 15? And a 5. So we'll just carry a couple extra fuses with us just in case. And let's drive this bad boy home. See how it does. Still no check engine light, so that's good. Back with I about called it the HHR because we got the HHR done and I got to finish filming that car. But the Cruze. So I put about 100 miles on it yesterday driving around after we fixed a bunch of crap on it. In that 100 miles, I have the low tire pressure light again because, well, for some reason this morning, even though we're in May, it was 39 degrees. Don't know what's going on with our weather, but that's a thing. So I'm in a sweatshirt because it was cold. And, but anyway, I went and picked up motor oil and stuff, just some cheap oil and a cheapo filter. So we're going to change the oil in this car because it is right at being due for its next change. And it was low yesterday when I checked it. So it's probably consuming some oil because it's a piece of junk Ecotech, but we'll see. Get this thing lined up for the lift. But yeah, so far, 100 or so miles and no warning lights after we did all that work to the body control module and all them ground wires and fuses and the electrical stuff. So let's change the oil. So this little Eco Junk is supposed to take 530. It's not getting 530 this time. We're gonna go ahead and crack this cap so that it drains a little faster when I open it up underneath. Your oil filter is located down here underneath the exhaust manifold, so if the car is nice and hot, the people at Pep Boys will hate you. But it's not as bad as the Taurus's used to be. It is a 24 millimeter. They make special sockets for this because some of the GM applications are at crazy angles and you can't get a deep well or even a regular short well socket in there. But on this one, you can. So we're gonna go ahead and pop that loose too. Old filter doesn't look horrible, just aged. On the cap, just pop that off, get our new one, pop that guy on there, take our new filter. You can see how it's got those little holes in there. Voila. It doesn't hurt to put a little bit of oil on that O-ring, but there was oil sitting all on the edge of the filter housing, so it will get lubricated. I think these are like a 16. Yeah. Crap. How big of a mess can we make today, folks? It's fine. Didn't want to hold you anyway. She nasty. She was due for that change. So while that's draining, I think I'm gonna try to make this look less ugly. So I just ripped out this big piece of duct tape that was behind this bumper, and I don't really want to drill through the front because that's gonna be just ugly. So let's start with getting this screw out to detach this. And I think I've got an idea as to what we can do to make that not so ugly. Drain plugs back in. I got a few screws in the bottom to kind of hold that up. It's a 40 footer at least, but when you pass it broke down on the side of the road, you're not gonna be able to notice all this over the flashing hazard lights anyway, so. It's good enough for government work or a retired fleet car. Let's get it on the ground and put some oil in it. Okay. When this car was new, they wanted you to run a 530 variety in her. She's got over 100K on her now. You can't go too thick on these little GM motors because they have those timing sensors in there and they have screens on them that'll clog up. We're just gonna move up to a 1030 weight. This is some cheap Providence oil. That's conventional, but it's 1030. This stuff is like, I don't know, $12 for a gallon and a quarter. So this is what it's getting. At least for its first oil change. If it proves it can hold itself together for a little while, we'll start putting some better oil in it. But this stuff is fine. So it pretty much held all 4 quarts in the change. I think they might hold a hair more. I'm within the full mark, or within the crosshatch, so that's pretty good for now. You could always top it off later if you wanted. So in the car, we're gonna reset our oil life. These cars, you can start it up We know the hood's open. Now to cycle through your information screen here, everything is on the turn signal stock. We're gonna press menu. We know our tire pressure is low. They have to be over 28 to keep a light off. Press menu again, and you can cycle through your oil life, battery voltage, and your unit of measurement, and of course tire pressure. Oil life is 22%. We have changed it. The set clear button on the end, we'll press and hold that, and then you will toggle up to reset and press the enter button again. There you go. Oil life is now 100%, so that's good. We're also gonna throw a new sticker in here just so we're good to go. 143, 493. I'm old school. I go every 3,000 miles, and we'll change it again. So I'll write us a new sticker. And let's go ahead and put some air in them tires, get that damn light off. So all the tires are indicating that they're around 27, 28 pounds on the information screen. And that's about right. So we're gonna try to get them all up around 34, 35. And you know, once the weather warms up and the tires get hot, they're gonna go up a couple more pounds. That should keep us around 35, 36, and everything should be okay. So our maximum inflation is 51 PSI for the tire. And I'm not sure what the car is rated at. Let's check. I figured 35 was a happy medium. Yeah, 35 is where it wants it anyway. So let's get 35 in there. It's a little over 35. That's pretty dang close. This one is at 28 and some change or so. I do not know if GM is adaptive immediately or if it measures after new rotation is detected. So let's see. After I figure out what pocket I put the damn key in. Oh, it's an immediate detection, so we're good to go now. Cool. All the lights are out. That's because I'm not buckled, and that's because the headlights are on. The final thing on our list, besides going and picking up a battery, is we need to adjust these headlights because they are pointed at the ground. That one's in its own damn world over there. Let's see. Low beam, high beam, and they are extremely low. And you can adjust that with these screws right here. So it's gonna be a Phillips or an Allen, depending on how you want to do that. So let's get a screwdriver, see if we can move those. Got our screwdriver in here counterclockwise. Raises it up. I don't know if you can tell or not. Right about there. So let's make this one match. And sometimes they have an adjustment of in and out. I'm not seeing that on this one, but maybe that'll be better than it was. They're definitely up now some. Let's try our high beams. We'll try that. I've got screwdrivers at home. I'll throw one in the car and I can go drive it around. Now that they're pretty well evened out, you can count your turns, you know. You can count how many turns you go and adjust them both evenly, you know, if it's too high or if it's too low, but that definitely already looks better. We brought them up, you know, they were below this line on the door, so I bet they came up 8 inches or more. And they were, I drove home with the high beams on last night and you could see the projection of them on the ground. No one even flashed their lights at me. That's how low they were aimed, so maybe that'll work. And I think all of our lights work. Sure looks like it. And I need to get this sticker residue off of here. Let's do that real quick. So far, so good. Temperature and everything's still nice and fine. That check engine light hasn't returned yet. We're gonna wait till this evening. I'll probably drive it. We'll go get dinner and put some gas in it. And see how it goes. See how the headlights work too. Really quiet. I don't know if the phone is gonna do it justice or not, but this thing is very quiet. But yeah. Just another update. I'm gonna throw this video in here somewhere. The little Cruze, we put another 400 and some odd miles on it. Everything's doing good. It's doing Cruze stuff. Did end up with another, I think it was a PO420. I can't remember if that's what it was or not, but anyways, the catalytic efficiency code was low. Cleared it. It hasn't come back on yet. Probably gonna run some easy pass or something like that through it. Usually that'll clear out the catalytic converter stuff. They also make another one called CataClean. Then there's like guaranteed 2-pass emissions cleaner. That stuff normally works pretty good, but the 140 on it for miles, I doubt it's anything seriously, you know, clogged or dirty with the cat. The car runs out too good. In the meantime, we're over here, Barker's Creek, doing some trout fishing, so maybe I'll tag or throw some of those videos. And there, Will's here, my brother Will right there, and there's Cody, and Will's girl is in there, Faith. I don't know if she's been in a video before. You know, Will's Mercury. So let's do some fishing.
Oh, that's a good size one. Come on.
That's a fucking fish.
Y'all might need to go get the cooler with ice.
Hell yeah, is that a trout?
That is a brook trout. Or
Good lord, he's flopping.
Quit flopping. I can't tell what it is. No, brown trout.
It took us.
Aw.
Hold on, wait, I gotta get a picture of you. Hold on.
Don't get my big ass.
I won't. Look at you.
Oh,
Look at me, look at me, look at me. Will, look at me. Damn it.
Oh.
Okay.
You got it good.
Yeah, this motherfucker gonna die even if we throw him back. You
Oh
get
god,
that.
you got the fuck. Yeah, let me go.
That is not a trout.
That is a smallmouth bass.
Yeah.
Or a rock bass, I can't tell.
Wait, let me get the.
Oh,
I gotta
that's
get
a
a
rock
picture.
bass.
I'm taking a picture with all the fish.
Rock bass.
Wait.
Oh, you barely got that. Will. You better put him in the cooler.
Okay, I got
Oh, are
you.
you keeping him?
No, we gonna throw a bass
Oh.
back.
Look at his lip.
It's a good one, Will.
Barely got
Barely.
That one's
got
pretty.
I'm gonna get stuck again watching
We're not gonna eat him. He's not gonna taste good. Look at him.
Let's see if I can catch
I'm zooming in.
I thought it was a kid floating face down, and I'm like, oh god, we just covered the body.
There's one. Oh, there's a ton of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's probably 8 or 9 of them.
They just going in a circle.
Well, that's furry propaganda. Lost and I'm found.
Oh, I see him.
that.
That's
That's
a big
fucking
ass trout. Oh shit.
Oh.
He angry. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Is that a rainbow trout?
It looks like.
We don't have a net, do we?
No, but the cooler's in the. Come on, buddy.
Oh my God.
That's a rainbow. That is a beautiful. Somebody needs to get the cooler.
Where is the cooler at?
In the trunk of that Grand Marquis. That's a rainbow trout.
It's where?
That's a rainbow trout.
No, where's the cooler, honey?
In the trunk of the Grand Marquis.
Come on, buddy. I'm afraid he's lost.
Holy crap.
I guess we got lunch. Or dinner.
Come on, buddy.
Oh. Up here, Will.
That's a gorgeous fish. I know you can't really see it from up there, but
Oh, we can see it. God, he's huge. You better get him. Oh my God. Give me don't fall. Give me a picture, Will. Got it. All right, I'm coming. That's what the other ones were this morning. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Actually, I think it is. It is. Can't get it off.
Get you a picture. Hold it like you like it, damn.
I don't like it. It's not a trout.
is that a rock bass or is it a
No, that's a regular bass.
this little smallmouth?
Yeah.
You want to eat it?
If you think you can get meat off
What are
of
you
it,
doing, kitties? What are you doing? There's a baby somewhere. Hey, little man. What are you doing? In case you didn't know, that's Pedro's baby. But Amazon just showed up. Chevy Cruze. The final piece to the puzzle. So no more issues out of the car, it seems. But right here is the shifter cable, and that little tab broke when I went to change the thermostat housing. This little piece here is a little rubber plug that I found in the shop and put on there, and that little guy has worked for a couple weeks, I guess. And you coming to help, Mama? Okay. So Amazon just sent us these. They are what we paid for them. Neo. Oh man, I'm probably butchering that. But anyway, transfer cable bushing kit. It comes with 2 of them. Cody's got the other one in his hand, I think, right? Yep. That little. Let me see it. So you can see it's got the little pull tab on the top like we need. So essentially the cable just comes up out of there, and then we can rotate this so that we can slide the bushing through it. So let's see if we can't get that in there. Go ahead. These are somewhat squishy, but not really. They're more plastic than they are like a rubber material. But that's it. Just get it to push through. Almost. So got it through. Now you just push it down, just like that, and then you push the collar back down. And we're done. And it comes with a new collar and an extra bushing, but you don't need those. You just need that one. And once you put it down on there, it locks. And the cable can't come flopping off. And you're done. So that's how you put that bushing in. It used to be those bushings, you couldn't get them. You had to buy a whole cable. But Amazon for the win. So that guy's on there now. And that's gonna wrap up the saga on the $1,000 Cruze for now. I'm gonna wrap up the camera lens. Yeah, so that's gonna finish it. $1,000 Chevy Cruze, and we've put well over 1,000 miles on it. No big issues. Got to take it and have it detailed. Cody got in here the other day and scrubbed on the seats and stuff, tried to get some of the funk out of them, but not too bad. Little thing's doing good. So that'll end this one. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed a bunch of our random clips and whatnot and all the other good stuff we had going on in there, driving the car and fixing it. We'll probably do some more updates on the car as time goes on, but we appreciate you watching. Drop a comment down below, let me know what you think. We'll catch you in the next one.